The Carleton College Convocation program is a weekly lecture series that brings fresh insights and perspectives from experts in a variety of fields. The program has a rich history dating back several decades. The selected Convocation speakers assist the liberal arts mission of centering thoughtful conversations within education and beyond.
Thank you, Janine. Welcome, everyone, to Honors Convocation. We are so glad you are here. Thank you for joining us today. It's wonderful to see so many of you here, whether you are a student, soon to be graduating senior, a staff or faculty, parent, family member, community person. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Skylar Vogel. I am the chaplain of the college. Today we honor students who have excelled in so many different ways, academically, through service, by GPA, and through earning awards, fellowship, and scholarships. But Honors Convocation is also simply a celebration of the year, the end of the year, for everyone. Although we know that finals still loom, perhaps ominously for some, you all have persevered against your own set of unique challenges and obstacles. And we honor your resiliency and the excellence it requires just to be here today. This is all especially commendable given the challenges of this year. We see higher education under unique pressure. Many of us worry about federal policies and practices that threaten us and those we love. For those graduating, the landscape of jobs in graduate school feels unusually arduous. And yet, despite all of this, we gather today in joy and hope. It is good to be here. We gather not naive about the state of the world, but defiant that it will not keep us from celebrating one another. So we cheer on our classmates whose achievements give hope to the world. What a gift you are. We cheer on the endeavor that we are all committed to at Carleton, celebrating the truths of learning and freedom and curiosity and wisdom and justice that this place represents. The world needs those more than ever. So in that spirit, we offer a land acknowledgement, which is one way we live unapologetically into our principles of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Here it is. We stand on the homelands of the Wapakute and Mdewakanton bands of the Dakota Nation. We honor with gratitude the people who've stewarded the land through the generations and their ongoing contributions to this region. We acknowledge the ongoing injustices that we have committed against the Dakota Nation and wish to interrupt this legacy, beginning with acts of healing and honest storytelling about this place. Friends, welcome again. Thank you for being part of this community, and congratulations on a year well done. You are all what makes Carleton special. You are why so many of us are honored to serve this place. We begin our time together with music led by members of our senior class. Thank you, Prompt. That was beautiful. Please welcome now to the stage our president, Dr. Allison Byerly.
Thank you as well, Prompt, for that lovely music. And thank you, Chaplain Vogel, for those thoughtful reflections on community, on diversity, on learning, and on the pursuit of justice, all of which are values that we continue to hold as important at Carleton. It is a tremendous pleasure to welcome students, faculty, staff. I know there's some family and friends who are here as well and able to attend today, and it's wonderful to have you here to help us celebrate the academic success and also leadership accomplishments of some truly remarkable Carleton students. We gather here today to honor students who've distinguished themselves in a variety of ways, some through membership in honor societies, as recipients of prestigious national awards and fellowships, and as winners of Carleton Awards and prizes. While their accomplishments differ, what these students share are the qualities that make Carleton students special: intellectual curiosity, energetic engagement, and commitment to the hard work of learning. At a time when support for higher education, for academic research, and for the kind of diverse and vibrant community we build at a college like Carleton are in jeopardy, it is especially valuable to have the opportunity to honor students who have excelled in a wide variety of fields, who have undertaken significant research or creative projects, and who have made our community stronger through their leadership and service. You represent the true promise of higher education and the reason it is worthy of support. Our recognition of the students we honor today is a tribute not only to their hard work, but also to the dedication of the faculty who taught and mentored them, the staff who supported them, and the friends and fellow students who are part of the Carleton community. We gather here today to share our pride in you and your accomplishments. I'm pleased now to introduce CSA President Vivian Agugo, who will offer her own greetings and reflections. Welcome.
Thank you, President Byerly. Good afternoon, esteemed faculty, staff, supporters around the world, students, and most importantly, the honorees of this year's honor convocation. Today is a moment for reflection and celebration. For most and all, it marks the final Friday of classes, a sign of relief and a step closer to summer. For some, it's your first of many awards. And for the class of 25, this is your last undergraduate honor ceremony and one day closer to crossing the commencement stage. And for a very special someone, my baby brother Brian, who is hopefully watching, today marks the day that he received both his high school diploma and associate's degree in computer programming. Could we give him a round of applause, please? Every day, I never fail to be amazed by every new Carleton fun fact. I often find these facts from the Carleton archives, which, if you didn't know, is a source for all things Carleton, such as old recordings of events, notable speakers, and pictures of the old-fashioned days. While digging through this archive, I found a particular gem. 15 years ago, on June 4th, 500 Carls broke the Guinness World Record for the world's largest group spoon. Very interesting. That quirky moment reminded me of a more recent and far more intense record. On May 2023, Nigerian chef Hilda Bassi broke the Guinness World Record for the largest cooking marathon. She cooked non-stop for 93 hours and 11 minutes. This news shocked the airwaves as Nigerians erupted around the world with our Nigerianism. In fact, it motivated so many Nigerians and other Africans to break other marathon records, or even create new ones. You couldn't escape TikTok lives as you saw people sought to do things like a sing-a-thon, wash a plate-a-thon, cry-a-thon, and even a slip-a-thon, which I hope to break this year, or this summer. Nigerians eventually broke a new record, having Guinness World Record telling us to stop breaking records. Although world records or Guinness World Records told Nigerians to stop, I believe every student seated here today can go above and beyond. Dare I say, we can get up at least 10K. I see elements of all you when I think about Hilda Bassi. First is unique eye for taking challenges or being creative. One doesn't wake up and think they could break a world record. It takes confidence and courage to face such a challenge. When it comes to problem solving or expressing oneself, Carleton students love to take up that challenge and create new solutions or turn ordinary things into beautiful pieces. In fact, some of the honorees set here today are sitting on a plethora of cool art projects that they plan to create as recipients of the Tony Award for the Arts. Many of you set on to find solutions to the world's greatest problems by conducting either traditional or social science research as recipients of various research and fellowship awards today. But with drive to be creatives and problem solvers requires something often overlooked, energy. And I don't mean caffeine. If there's anything I learned from Professor Larry's Psychology of Sleep and Dream class, is that real energy comes from rest. Not even the cans of bubblers or Red Bull can match a good night's rest of sleep. Even Guinness World Record had told Hilda Bassi to take a rest. But that because no one, not even a world record breaker, can run on fumes of like sleep alone. And trust me, I say this as a somewhat embarrassed recipient of the Needs More Sleep Award from the Oil Cultural Award ceremony. Next is your commitment to create change. Hilda Bassi was not cooking these massive amounts of food for herself, although I would have minded a plate or two. She donated thousands of servings of food to various charities in Lagos. That generosity mirrors the Carleton students who served their community through community-based learning, advocacy, and outreach. Honorees of the Second Century Student Award and Stewie's Sustainability Award are some of the many students that pursue to create change and be change makers throughout their time at Carleton. And don't let your time here stop you from letting your voice be heard. Continue to be advocates for change as we work to ensure everyone has the right to resources, life, and many more. Lastly, the trade of community building. Hilda could not have done this alone without the support of her families, friends, and every single Nigerian, home and abroad, cheering her on. From being champions of diversity and inclusion, or traveling the world to engage as a global citizen, you all, Carleton students, have the innate ability to create space and be welcoming. As a student leader myself, I have the honor to working alongside many of you here today, and I've witnessed the community building that you all have in action. So as we gather here today to celebrate your achievements, I want to leave you with this. You're not just students, you're artists, researchers, organizers, dreamers, and doers. You've pushed boundaries, redefined excellence, and yes, survived 10 weeks that move faster than the time itself. And you've already broken records in your own right. Not the kind that always makes it in the books, but the kinds that shapes lives, spark change, and build community. So today, with the non-existent power invested in me, I declare Carleton students the recipients of the world record in learning deep intensive materials in a span of 10 weeks. Whether you're returning to this lovely campus when the trees have turned many shades of orange and red, or bursting out of this Carleton bubble to venture onto bigger and better things, continue to exemplify excellence. Congratulations and thank you. You've all earned every bit of this moment.
No, I was just putting your script up there for you.
If it falls, it's Provost Madsen's fault.
As a German professor by training, I will take very good care of Schiller. Hello, everyone. The students whom we honor today are exceptionally accomplished. Their extraordinary accomplishments are motivated by the highest of Carleton values: curiosity, creativity, and intellectual adventure, engagement with the world around us, a tenacious pursuit of knowledge, and a generosity of time and spirit. In honoring these students, we not only recognize their achievements, we also celebrate the core values of our community. Unfortunately, because the honors convocation is only 1 hour, we will not be able to read all of the honorees' names, but we will instead read a selection of names to give all of you in the audience a sampling of the tremendous breadth and depth of student accomplishment in this past year. You will find in today's program a list of the many people who are being honored for National Honor Society Awards, National and International Awards and Honors, Carleton Awards, Honors and Prizes, and Department and Program Awards, Honors and Prizes, along with fellowships and internships. I would like to say a word at the outset about the National Honor Society Awards, located toward the front of your program. As I name each National Honor Society Award, I ask those individuals receiving the honor to stand while I read the description. I ask you in the audience to hold your applause until I've announced each honor society, and we will begin with Mortarboard.
Mortarboard is a national honor society that recognizes students who have combined distinguished scholarship, leadership, and service to their colleagues and to the college community. The National Mortarboard approves the people whom we nominate before they are actually elected to membership. And now I would like to name Phi Beta Kappa. Phi Beta Kappa was founded in 1776. It is a national honorary scholastic organization. The Carleton chapter, Beta chapter of Minnesota, was established in 1913, and it elects to its membership those students who rank in the highest 15% of their graduating class. Please join me in congratulating both of these groups of individuals for their accomplishments. We now turn to national and international awards and honors. And the first, as I said, as a German professor by training, is particularly meaningful to me. The Kongress Bundestag Youth Exchange for Young Professionals is awarded this year to Matthias Haas, who is a class of 2025 philosophy major who will spend the year in Germany through the Kongress Bundestag Exchange Program for Young Professionals. Following several months of language and other study, Matthias will pursue an internship in the field of migration and refugee resettlement. He hopes to pursue a career in law dedicated to the interests of such populations, and CBYX will give him exposure to Germany's extensive system of migration-focused NGOs and legal offices. Congratulations, Matthias, wherever you are. The Critical Language Scholarship Program Award will go to Grace Entz, who is a class of 2026 history major with minors in Africana Studies and Arabic, as well as Carleton's first Obama Chesky Voyager Scholar. She will spend the summer at the Critical Language Scholarship Institute in Arusha, Tanzania, studying Swahili. That's great. We now will list our Fulbright semifinalists. The finalist notifications for the Fulbright U.S. student program remain delayed at this point, but we would like to recognize our 25 semifinalists from the class of 25 who may yet be selected for opportunities to engage in research, study, or English abroad. Or teach English abroad, excuse me. They include Amelia Asfa, Jens Bartel, Maxwell Borden, Aurora Davis, Sandy DiCarlo, Lauren Friedman, Akush Galanguli, Marcus Gennady, Malaki Guzman, Kaori Hirano, Olivia Ho, Ellis Kundashov, Oliver Licht, Caroline Loescher, Katie O'Leary, Mitch Porter, Ashley Rosenberg, Melina Sasaki Wimura, Victoria Zemelhak, Charles Solomon, Henry Steer, Sammy Ulisny, Kate Ulrich, Anna Urson, and Aaron Zivzak. Could you all stand if you are here? The Fulbright MyTax Global Link Award goes to Aroma Chanda, who is a class of 2027 student and newly declared biology major who will research the role of zinc finger proteins in the development of cancer at the Université Laval in Quebec City. And to Ariel Seiter, who is a class of 2026 biology major and neuroscience minor, who will study the mechanisms of vision recovery at the University of Montreal using microscopy to examine the activity of a neurotransmitter involved in age-related vision degeneration. Congratulations to you both.
We should also apologize in advance if we mispronounce any of your names. We continue to believe that our hearts are in the right place, and so it doesn't always come that way if we mispronounce your name, but we really, really, really do try to get it right. The Projects for Peace, the recipient is Nargis Nusaibo, who is doing a project that is going to advance breast cancer in Bangladesh, her home country, to help facilitate breast cancer screening and awareness programs this summer. This award will enable Nargis, a chemistry and econ major, to work with a surgeon and medical students to teach Bangladeshi women to conduct breast self-exams and help those in need navigate the treatment system. Nargis. We should also note that Nargis, prior to Honors Convo, tried gracefully to get several administrators to get pies in their face for her fundraiser, and we successfully said no, and so thank you for the power of no. Next year, there you go. The Rotary International Fellowship goes to Anya Urson, who is a class of 2025 student with our very first special major in public health studies. Anya will spend next year pursuing the MPhil in Population Health Sciences at the University of Cambridge with the support of the Rotary Global Grant Fellowship. Anna's previous work with infectious disease in East Africa, as well as her US-based coursework and internships, have prepared her to take full advantage of the Cambridge program before she continues with a medical degree and a career as a physician researcher. Anna. I am happy to announce 2 of the 3 Watson Fellowships for this year. Provost Mattson will announce the 3rd. Jonah Dr. Loeb will spend his Watson Fellowship year considering thorny questions related to conservation biology that are exemplified through the relationships between 2 species of environmental engineers. One of them will be no surprise to anyone in this room. Beavers and humans around the world. Mitch Porter, the 2nd recipient of the Watson Fellowship, will use the fellowship to explore the theme of life after ecological death, visiting communities around the world whose livelihoods and cultural practices have been profoundly altered by climate change and its attendant effects.
Finally, Victoria Semmelhak as Watson Fellowship year will be devoted to the problem of maternal mortality around the globe. She will explore through several case studies what practices, both traditional and modern, are most successful in safeguarding maternal health and whether they may be applicable in other contexts. Will the 3 of them please stand up if they're here? And now we will move to the Carleton Awards, Honors, and Prizes. In this section, we will name all of the awards, but we will not describe the awards themselves. That should be in your programs. The first is the Sarah F. Ham Alvarez and R. Michael Alvarez, both class of '86, Award for Applied Research, which goes to Gabriel Kaplan for a project on precipitation and groundwater, increasing sensitivity of deep wells in Minnesota. The Carolyn Applebaum Prize in the Arts goes to Katie Fair, a cinema and media studies major who is an outstanding technician supporting the video and audio work for concerts and events in Cracombe Hall. The James S. Berglund Class of '61 Social Science Prize goes to Mitch Porter. for a project, residual conservation of political ecology and marine protected area creation in Argentina.
All right, the Scott Tyler Bergner Prize. We have 3 recipients of this, the Bergner Prize. Someone whose name you've heard twice already, but I'm happy to say it again. Julia Dunn, Political Science, International Relations. Julia introduced me to the fine food of Jamaican patties from her home country. Thank you, Julia. Nzinga Joseph is our second recipient. Maureen Shahid is our third recipient. Thank you. The Eric and Mimi Carlson Prize for Excellence in Community Collaboration goes to CS Major David Toledo. The Class of 1885 Prize for the Best Work of Imagination in Prose goes to Florence Basile for their work Stories of Stained Glass. And then we have 3 recipients of the Class of 1966 Diversity of Achievement Award, one you've heard from already, who might be our CSA president, who is also a Cog Science major on the pre-health track, Vivian Agugo. The second recipient is Victoria Brojan. And then the third one is Kadmini Konida. I might have messed that up, but it's okay, who's a bio and chem double major.
The Margaret Dalton Curran Prize awarded by the English Department for the most accomplished academic essay goes to Arthur Koenig for their essay, When Cairo Was Like Europe. The Dana Award for Personal Achievement goes to Griffin Momsen Hudson and Brian Yang. The Dimsdale Prize for Undergraduate Medical Research is awarded to Anna Urson, who is, as you've already heard, a public health studies major and minor in biochemistry. The David John Field Prize goes to 3 people, Grace Basekle, Kaori Hirano, and Amadou Touré.
The Lawrence McKinley Gould Prize in Natural Science. It's a pleasure to repeat this name again. Nzinga Joseph. Katie O'Leary. And Josiah Tussler. I'm going to say these really impressive majors here. Nzinga is a math major, a woman after my own heart, and philosophy minor. Katie's majors are chemistry and German. And Josiah is a physics major with a minor in mathematics and music performance. Congratulations. Let's talk about some honors in independent study, where we have 2 folks who have received these honors. Akush Golongole is a math major who received honors in independent study for his paper entitled The Kronecker-Weber Theorem, which gives, according to the reviewer, a beautifully written, self-contained proof of a famous theorem that is of central importance in algebraic number theory. The second, yep. The second recipient, Rahim Hamid, is a double major, computer science and studio art, looking very nice today, received honors in independent study for the work produced during their summer residency and art exhibition at the Northeast Sculpture Gallery in Minneapolis. Raheem developed a body of work that crossed media, incorporating painting, sculpture, and mixed media to explore themes of displacement and longing. Congratulations to you both. The Jefferson Natural Sciences Teaching Award, the recipient is Amberly Croha, is an exemplary student and exceptional teaching assistant in four different geology courses, and as having readily shown enthusiasm and initiative for informal teaching and peer mentorship on field trips. Congratulations. The Sigrid and Erland Larson Award in Creative and Performing Arts. Mariko Bolton, Rue Case, and Owen Roth. Congratulations. The Mortarboard Prize, Noel Peck. The Daisy Moses Award, Victoria Kendall.
The Noyes Prize is awarded to several people. Ruby Becker, who's a history major with minors in classics and medieval and Renaissance studies. Olivia Ho, who's an American Studies and English major. A name we've heard before, Katie O'Leary, chemistry and German. And Celia van der Ploeg-Fallon, a German major. The Reeve Prize for Distinguished Scholarly Achievement was awarded to Coral Outwater, who is a chemistry major and a biochemistry and Japanese minor. The Jean Schmidt Prize goes to Marine Shaid. The Second Century Award goes to Gracie Huff. Tiffany Namao. Max Sirota. And Josiah Tussler. The Stussy Sustainability Award goes to Juliana Baldo. Juliana is a student awardee for this year's Stussy in recognition of her remarkable dedication to environmental activism, education, and community engagement throughout her time at Carleton. Juliana is an environmental studies and sociology and anthropology double major, equally invested in environmental and social responsibility and justice.
The Stimson Prize, Anushka Malik. The Frank Stinchfield Prize for academically outstanding members of the senior class, Emerald Wong. The Technos International Prize, which is a comparable award that's shared in Japan as well, goes to Noel Wang. The Technos International Week Fellows, Alec Kobiork and Karen Grafstad Nordbrock are the two recipients.
The 6 Carleton Tony Awards that Vivian mentioned earlier go to Rue Case, Ethan Klein Cole, Rahim Hamid, Will Prim, Owen Roth, and Kaylin Rothy. The 2 Mary Reese Endowed Prize go to Theo Borowski and Danny Reynoso. The Carleton String Quartet will now perform the 3rd movement of Shostakovich's String Quartet No. 3, Opus 73.
Thank you so much for that amazing performance. We will now move to the Departmental and Program Awards, honors, and prizes, and thank you for your patience. The number and variety of departmental and program awards, honors, and prizes is truly indeed significant. From awards in gender, women's, and sexuality studies, to a prize in cognitive science and philosophy, to an award in inorganic chemistry. Although time doesn't allow us to read all the names of the recipients, we do and continue to encourage you to look through them in the program and congratulate the recipients at the reception that will shortly follow after Convocation. We are highlighting just a few, particularly fellowships that are marking significant milestone anniversaries. The Rajalakshmi Balasingam Gender, Women's, and Sexuality Studies Prize might go to one of our student commencement speakers, Ananya Sinha, for their GWIZ 200 paper at Kamini Do Kaminiya. Is that right? Okay, I'm close. And that translates to one idiot, two idiots, an intersectional feminist analysis of interview with a crone. Congratulations. The Roy Elverton Prize in Cognitive Science and Philosophy. There are 6 recipients of that prize, right? Abdullah Ansar, the Comp's title is The Dynamic Recitation, a study of Quranic orality, extended memory, and the emergence of variant readings. Kieran Barker, Comp's title, Making AI Make Sense. Let us know when you do that. Biological normativity as a criterion for intelligence. Ella Daniels Koch, Linnea Holtman, Comp's title is Can Neural Network Language Models Demonstrate Linguistic Systematicity? There we go. Becky Reinhold and Fukan Zhang, Comp's title is Will the Sun Rise in the East Tomorrow? I hope so. Exploring the role of implicit, in the West, exploring the role of implicit prior knowledge in causal inductive reasoning. Will those recipients please stand?
The Winfield A. Foreman Jr., class of 37, endowed scholarship for academic excellence in economics, which is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year, goes to Owen Jones. There are 4 recipients of the Stephen P. Galovich Prize in Mathematics, and I ask you to hold your applause until I've read all 4 of them. Akyush Galangule, Nsinga Joseph, Nilu, and Elena Parkerson. We have 7 awardees for the David Politsek Class of 96 Prize in Computer Science. The first is Ugochukwu Onyebunam, Daniel Case, Cece Chetita, Marshall Johnson, Nathaniel Lee, Amadou Toure, and Kendra Winhall.
The Rachel Rosenfeld Prize for Excellence in Sociology and Anthropology. Ayana Rose, Posse Love, was selected for her intellectual curiosity, devotion to the SOAN community, promise in making professional contributions in the areas of sociology or anthropology, and just enthusiasm for connecting social theory and practice. Congratulations. The Cy Schuster Prize for Leadership in Diversity and Inclusion, with 2 recipients there, Jocelyn Ferguson and Caitlin Hall.
The Lee Sigelman Prize for the best paper by a junior political science major goes to B. Culligan, whose paper title is Justice or Just Us? The Impact of Diplomatic Alignment with the U.S. on ICC Investigations. The Ian Krabel Memorial Prize for a history major goes to Henry Maschwegi.
The Ann Goodson Wiener Prize in Theater and Dance might go to a linguistics major, John Miles, and then Baron Wiki. So how about all of those who have been awarded a departmental honor to please rise and be recognized together? I want to call your attention to the fellowship section in your program. There are a variety of awards that are listed in there, and it is our honor to recognize those students who have been awarded fellowship opportunities this year. For time's sake, we can't go through all of them unless y'all want to stay here for another hour or so, but we're just going to highlight a few. Let's talk about the Four Friends, the Four Friends Fellowship. This was established by four friends who graduated from Carleton, right? Who really wanted to share with everyone the memorable experiences they had here and provide an opportunity, a financial opportunity for four or less friends to go and do something really great together. So we have 2 awards for 3 friends. You kind of heard from him already, but Vivian Agugo, Zaida Peter, and Fatima Taylor Kamara are 3 friends who are going to go on a Four Friends Fellowship, and their fellowship is called An Exploration of South Carolina's Black Communities. Congratulations to you 3. The other 3 friends for the Four Friends Fellowship is writer Cole Brogman, Katrina Ostrom, and Ife Wren. These 3 friends that sat together experiences titled Threads of the Land, Weaving Ireland's Wool Heritage, Info, Film, Craft, and Community. Have fun in Ireland.
The Dale and Elizabeth Hansen Fellowships in Ethics this year go to David Figuera, Eric Lale, and Justin Rodriguez. The Kuhnecke Fellowships, which is also celebrating a 5-year anniversary, go to Eva Blaufus, Visual Archive of Austrian Cultural Identity, Caitlin Harder, who will be doing an internship in Halle, Germany, with refugees and will also prepare for her comps, Ostap Hrebenok, Duncan MacArthur, Veronica Ross, who's working on a project on religion and medicine in German-speaking countries. Ella Schatz will explore art education at various locations in Germany to use for her major work here at Carleton. Congratulations.
The Mellon Mays Undergraduate Fellowship, which is led by Sherlon Usry as our faculty sponsor, Cindy Fleming as our staff sponsor. There are 3, 6, 9, 10 people who have the Mellon Mays Undergraduate Fellowship. And these are folks who want to be in the academy, want to be professors. And we love that, right? They are majored in everything from history to classics to philosophy. And let me just call them out, and please stand. I think y'all are sitting together. Fareed Aziz, Embar Galaviz, Juan Garcia Reyes, Zuria Kelly, Natalia Ron Lopez, Ayana Rose, Jerry Shang, Ellie Simon, Sophia Ying, and Hope Yu.
The Paglia Postbac Research Fellowship, also celebrating a 5th year anniversary, goes to 3 individuals, Aidan Lesneski, Audrey Parrott, and Elias Tanira. The Whites Fellowship, which just returned to Carleton this year, goes to 3 different people, Grace Basekle, Julia Dunn, and Marcus Gunadi.
Provost Matson named those 3, and I'm going to name the other.
Oh gosh, there's more. Sorry about that.
You do have jobs next year, so I'm going to name the other 5. William Hassel Fellowship, which will be at the Rose Theater in Omaha. Maya Keeney will be at the Jocelyn Art Museum. Danielle Reynoso will be at the Nebraska Appleseed Center for Law and the Public Interest. Ashley Rosenberg will take place at the Nebraska Civic Engagement Table. And then finally, Mia Iram will do a fellowship at the Women's Fund of Omaha, where they will focus on research, grants, and advocacy around issues facing women and girls in their communities. Congratulations on your WETS Fellowship.
So I would ask all of the students who are the recipients of fellowships or internships and who are with us today to please stand and let us celebrate you. Last thing we're going to do is have everybody who was honored here today stand up so we can give you all a shout out. Congratulations.
I have to really briefly, okay with you, President Barley, tell you about this person, Schiller, right? Schiller's here, that's not the real Schiller. This Schiller is old and needs to rest. And so Schiller will have something that happens today at 7 o'clock. And this Schiller will go away too, and another new Schiller, which is what we do in this community, will reemerge. Please take care of Schiller. And we should see Schiller often. Thank you.
To present the valedictory remarks.
Real or not, this is the closest I've ever gotten to Schiller, and I'm very excited. It's a bit like being close to a celebrity, I feel like. Friends, well done to all of you. Congratulations. We honor you for your excellence, but it's not just about the excellence for its own sake. It's about excellence in service of others, excellence in opposition to injustice and cruelty and whatever dehumanizes us. It's excellence that's tenacious and creative and persistent. Excellence that is maybe rooted in the classroom, in the mind, but also in the world, in the heart, and all the lives that everyone leads all over the world. Excellence that excuses arrogance, but inspires humility. So for all those honored, for all those here who represent the Carleton spirit, know that we are so proud of you. We know you will do amazing things. As we look ahead to our last week and to finals, we wish you all the success of an end of a term. To our graduates, we'll see you at commencement, and hopefully at reunion and any other time that you're back here in Northfield, please let us know. We'd love to see you. For those coming back, we hope you have a beautiful, rich, and wonderful summer, and we'll be happy to see you again for another year. We end now with words from our president, Allison Byerly.
It's an extraordinary pleasure to have the view that those of us who are up here have of the entire room joined in celebration of the accomplishment of all of you who've been honored here today. Being able to see all of the beaming faces, see the people high-fiving and hugging each other, seeing friends and family in the back admiring and proud of your accomplishments is really a lovely sight, and I thank you for making that possible for all of us. Before we invite you to stand for the singing of the alma mater, I'd like to just encourage everyone in attendance to join us at the reception in Great Hall that was mentioned earlier. We'll have some refreshments and a chance to congratulate many of you personally, which I know many faculty are eager to do. Also, following the alma mater, I'd like to ask the audience to remain standing and at your seats until the faculty have fully recessed. And now please stand and join me in the singing of Carleton, our alma mater, which is in your program.